Welcome, everybody. We're at J. Blanchard Park in South Orlando today. The park is quiet for a Thursday afternoon. There are some people here, and I'm walking westward on the path through the park. So, let me tell you what I've got for this live stream today. I was reminded after the recent meeting in Orlando Stoics, we have 3 online meetings every week, Mondays, Fridays, and Sundays. And often, of course, Orlando Stoics as a group covers topics in Stoicism. But we also cover related philosophy, really whatever practical philosophy comes from other groups. It's practical philosophy is about what you can do to improve your life, your mindset, your well-being. And so the other day someone reminded me that we have covered Epicureanism before. Epicureanism is the school of philosophy that existed at the same time as the Stoic school 2,300 years ago. Their school of Epicureanism was founded, I believe, about 7 years before Stoicism was. So that's about the year 307 BC. And of course, it was founded by a guy named Epicurus. So I'm going to give you some brief background on this school and what the value of it is today. Because it had some elements that were very practical in nature. So the school, founded by Epicurus, was influenced by another great philosopher at the time called Democritus. And Democritus, if you know your history, is the philosopher who came up with the idea of atoms. He discovered them. Of course, when I say this, I'm always careful not to say he invented them, because they existed already. So we say he discovered the concept. And that grounded not just people who followed Democritus, but also the Epicurean school. They had this materialistic kind of background that everything is grounded in atoms, very real life stuff. And that's what led to the idea, the kind of theme or slogan for the Epicureans, that they wanted to find a way to the good life. They wanted to increase pleasure and reduce pain in their lives. That was their central goal. There's lots of ways of phrasing that, but I'm just reducing it to that. And so this idea of choosing pleasure over pain is a lasting concept for today. Today in our world, we have, of course, lots of things that give us pleasure and other things that give us pain, and we'd like to reduce the latter. I mean, that's the way our bodies are built biologically. So I'm going to stop here for a moment, and I'm going to read to you a famous quote by Lucretius. He was one of the people who explained Epicureanism very well. And he said this: "The time may come when you yourself, terrorized by some fearsome pronouncements of the poets and priests, will attempt to defect from us. Consider how numerous are the fantasies they can invent, capable of confounding your calculated plan of life and clouding all your fortunes with fear and with reason. For if people realized that there was a limit set to their tribulations, they would somehow find strength to defy irrational beliefs and the threats of fablemongers. As it is, they have no way, no ability to offer resistance because they fear that death brings punishment without end. Wow, let that think in for a moment. Or think in. That's funny. Let that sink in for a moment. I should write that down. So, fear is certainly a big part of the structure of pain in our lives. It can be everywhere. You can cause yourself pain just by thinking, oh, something harms me. But hey, maybe you can use this idea in the modern sense, since there are people who want to cause us fear in order to manipulate us to do something. I'm not just talking about like a personal relationship or a toxic relationship. I'm talking about advertising. Lots of advertising tells you, wow, you got to do this or that right away to avoid a problem. So you see, Epicureanism and how they dealt with fear 2,300 years ago is really helpful today. Think about that. Add something to your daily practice. And I'll see you again tomorrow, probably. This is StoicDan in Orlando.